is Efren. Today we are going to talk about economics policy and living sustainability. Now we will talk about sustainability. In our day-to-day life, we face small actions that can make a big difference for the environment and for our pocket. For example, when choosing lighting for the home, did you know that LED bulbs can be great saving over conventional bulbs? They consume less, so having them turned on for the length of times means less spending at the end of the month. So this way, we can save almost $220 a year or contribute to energy savings. In short trips, the bicycle is a better option than the car. Aside from saving money on the gas, the bicycle is a zero-emission vehicle while the car consumption increases as you go, emitting up to 1.7 kilograms of carbon dioxide every 10 kilometers. In the kitchen, we can also reduce costs. A simple action like covering the pot while cooking, saving of 25% or even 50% if we use the pressure cooker. This way, we can see the money seen covering the pot using the pressure cooker. So we continue taking care in the kitchen. Recycling used oil prevents severe environmental damage. Did you know that 1 liter of oil pollutes 1,000 liters of water? Furthermore, the recycled oil can be used to make soap, fertilizer, or fuel. When shopping, we can contribute to sustainability. Always look at clothing labels and buy fair trade products which guarantee respect for biodiversity and the workers who have made the garments. Now we will proceed to economics. So what is economics? Economics is often considered a dry or dismal science. In schools, it is often taught with the focus of abstract demand charts or complicated mathematical formulas. When we think about economics for the economy, we think about money, goods, or services, or perhaps government policy. Although these are aspects of an economy, economics at its core is about human actions. It's about the choices and actions we make as individuals. It's about our individual wants, needs, and abilities, and it's about how we interact with others to benefit each other and build the society around us. Imagine, for example, if a simple person were stranded on a deserted island. For this person, let's call him Bob. The top priority is obvious: survival. He needs water, food, and shelter. Some of Bob's resources are obvious. There may be coconuts or berries that can be foraged for food, just as important. However, is his time. He must economize his time, dedicating it so as to best ensure his own survival. Does Bob focus on finding water, or does he dedicate his first few hours to build a shelter? Right away, Bob is forced to make decisions about trade-offs, the cost of making one decision over another. Bob may decide that he can survive 3 days without water and so focuses instead on creating a shelter for the night. Another person in the situation may choose differently, but it is Bob's individual judgment that guides the choices he makes. Bob's decision may not be the right one. Risk and uncertainty are an inherent part of our human existence. Perhaps Bob's end up spending so much time building a shelter that he does not give himself enough time to find water when he desperately needs it. Bob's decision affects the number of days he can survive on the island. In this case, his profit is measured in terms of the number of days he is able to live. Having made this choice, a loss could be his death. Notice that Bob's economic decisions have nothing to do with money. They are simply the choices that he makes facing an answer in future. Luckily, most of our economic decisions are not matters of life and death, but basic decisions that we all make every day. These decisions all have costs and benefits that must be weighed by the individual, and this is as true for every person anywhere in the world as it is for someone on a deserted island. Economics does not tell us what any individual should do. Instead, economics is about understanding the cost of our decisions, about understanding how we can create value by satisfying our wants and the wants of others, and about the ways that we as individuals all play a role in contributing to the rise or fall of human civilization. The question for each of us is, what role do we want to play? Now we will talk about environmental laws or policy. It is interesting to note that the natural resources had been stored virtually untouched in the earth for millions of years. But since the start of the Industrial Revolution, vast amounts of these resources had been exploited within a period of just a couple of hundred of years at unimaginable rates. With all the waste from this exploitation going straight in the environments such as air, water, and land, and seriously damaging its natural processes. That is why the government made its effort to prevent the rapid destruction of environment. In the Philippines, there are numerous environmental laws that have been passed. Some of it are the following. First is the Republic Act No. 6969, or also known as Toxic Substances and Hazardous and Nuclear Waste Control Act of 1990. This policy states that to regulate, restrict, or prohibit the importation, manufacture, processing, sale, distribution, use, and disposal of chemical substances and mixtures that present unreasonable risk and or injury to health or the environment. To prohibit the entry, even in transit, of hazardous and nuclear waste and their disposal into the Philippine territorial limits for whatever purpose. And to provide advancement and facilitate research and studies on toxic chemicals. Second is the Republic Act No. 8749, or Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. This act stated that the state shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature, promote and protect the global environment to attain sustainable development while recognizing the primary responsibility of the local government units to deal with environmental problems. To recognizes that the responsibility of the cleaning the habitat of environment is primarily area-based. Finally, the state recognizes that a clean and healthy environment is for the good of all and should therefore be the concern of all. The third is the Republic Act No. 9275, or the Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004. It is stated that the state shall pursue a policy of economic growth in a manner consistent with the protection, preservation, and revival of the quality of our fresh, brackish, and marine waters. It shall be the state policy to streamline processes and procedures in the prevention, control, and abatement of pollution of the country's water resources. Promote environmental strategies. Use of appropriate economic instruments and of control mechanisms for the protection of water resources. And provide for a comprehensive management program for water pollution, focusing on pollution prevention. Fourth is the Republic Act No. 9003, Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. So this describes solid waste management as a discipline associated with the control of generation, storage, collection, transfer and transport, processing, and disposal of solid waste. The manner by which these activities are conducted shall be in accord with the best principles of public health, economics, engineering, conservation, aesthetics, other environmental considerations, and public attitudes. The Act provides for a comprehensive ecological solid waste management program by creating the necessary institutional mechanisms and incentives, appropriating funds, declaring certain acts prohibited, and providing penalties. Fifth is the Republic Act No. 9147 or the Wildlife Resources Conservation and Prevention Act. So this law stated that it shall be the policy of the state to conserve the country's wildlife resources and their habitats for sustainability. This act shall have the following objectives: to conserve and protect wildlife species and their habitats, to promote ecological balance and enhance biological diversity. Second is to regulate the collection and trade of wildlife, to pursue with due regards to the national interest. Third is the protection of wildlife and their habitats. Fourth is to initiate or support scientific studies on the conservation of biological diversity. Sixth is the Republic Act No. 7942 or the Philippine Mining Act of 1995. So it stated that all mineral resources in public and private lands within the territory and exclusive economic zone of the Republic of the Philippines are owned by the state. So the responsibility of the state is to promote the rational exploration, development, utilization, and conservation through the combined efforts of the government and the private sector in order to enhance growth in a way that effectively safeguards the environment and protect the rights of affected communities. So, but amidst of the number of environmental laws we have in this country to protect the source of our living or to protect the environment, at the end of the day, it is also our responsibility to do our action to save our environment, not just to wait and mandate the government, because our life depends on the state of the environment.